Let's go to Vancouver because the leader of the NDP, Jagmeet Singh, is standing by there. And we're very happy to have him joining us on the show today. Thanks for taking a bit of time. I know it's busy for you, but it's always great to have you on the show.
My pleasure, Todd. Thanks so much.
So let me ask you, you've been in the Lower Mainland, and obviously the campaign is not kicked off yet, but what are you hearing from people out there in terms of your party, the issues that matter to them?
Well, people are really disappointed in the Liberals and Mr. Trudeau, and they've seen that Conservative governments have really slashed the services they rely on. So people are really looking at us as a real alternative. People really care about healthcare. That's something that comes up at the doorsteps, at community events, all across Lower Mainland and on the island. People want to see a stronger healthcare system, and we're committed to expanding it to include medication coverage for all, and then going beyond that to dental care, vision and eye care, addiction services, mental health services, to really cover people head to toe. And that's something that's connecting and resonating with people. They also want to see a solution to the housing crisis. And that's something that, as you know, Todd, is really gripping people here in the Lower Mainland, across BC, but really across Canada. And we've got a plan to build 500,000 new affordable homes. The way Canada used to be involved in building homes at the federal level, we want to get back into that and build rental properties and build co-ops and nonprofits, get into building more homes for people so they can find a place to live. And then finally, climate crisis. That's a massive concern. I hear it everywhere I go. People are worried about the future, and we're committed to taking on the big polluters, making sure we build an economy that works for everyone and where we don't leave any community behind.
This is going to be your first national campaign. Of course, there's a lot at stake. You know better than I do. Are you nervous about getting this right?
I'm never nervous because I'm committed to what I'm doing, but I am worried about the future for people. I am actually genuinely nervous about the future, and people are worried as well. And I'm confident if we make better choices, we can actually turn that around. Where young people come up to me and are worried about the planet and worried about whether they can afford tuition and whether there's going to be a place for them to live and whether they have to leave their homes, leave their communities because they can't find a place to live. I know that feel is real. I hear people when they tell me they're worried. And I am also worried, but I know that if we work together, we can solve those problems. And we've got some of the solutions ready for people.
We're seeing a lot of traction now on the idea of a handgun ban. You know, of course, the Prime Minister is in Toronto today meeting with John Tory, the mayor of that city. Police chiefs are meeting in Calgary tomorrow to talk about gun violence. What's your stance? What do we need to do in this country to stop this surge we've seen in many parts of Canada?
It's true, Todd, that it's a concern across the country. In many parts, it's happening. I've said about a year and a half ago, I wrote a letter to the Prime Minister first calling for, if any municipality makes the decision and chooses that it's important for that municipality to ban handguns, we should give them the right to do so. But I said that's not enough. The root cause of violence is very complex. It requires a lot of work. But from the people, from the communities that are impacted, they tell me what we need to do is make sure young people have a bright future, that they see themselves included in society, that they've got opportunities for good work, for education, that people can see a bright future filled with hope instead of despair. That's how we get at some of the root causes of violence. We need to deal with it in a complex way. It is a complex problem, but there's so many solutions that the people that are impacted by this are already calling for.
I think a lot of Canadians might not appreciate just how difficult it can be to run a national campaign for you and the other leaders to go back and forth across the provinces. I mean, you know, this is such a huge country. There are a lot of regional divisions. You're there in the Lower Mainland right now. Let me ask you about Quebec, because you were there not that long ago. I mean, are you worried about Quebec? You know, those seats you have there, some of them seem to be in jeopardy. I mean, you know, trying to shore up support across the province, you know, where you yourself as the leader are kind of deployed in order to make sure that you have the most impact.
Right. Well, I'm headed back to Quebec later on this week. For me, Quebec is an incredibly important part of our beautiful country. There's lots of folks in Quebec that really care about building a better society. Quebec is a province, as you know, that's got some of the best and most affordable rates for tuition fees, some of the best childcare programs. So there's lots of folks there that care about a progressive future. And they also feel let down by Mr. Trudeau, the fact that he bought a pipeline. They care about the environment as well, and they see us as an alternative. During the campaign is where I'm really going to hopefully get the attention of the people of Quebec who are not seeing the Conservatives as an option. They're going to cut services, make it more difficult for people. Liberals have let them down, and I'm hoping that people will see us as a real alternative. We've got great MPs there that have built up a strong reputation, hoping to build on that and continue to work hard.
The last thing I want to ask you while we've got you here, and I know it's busy, so we don't want to keep you too long, but it has to do with some of the recent polling here. And I want to get your take. The NDP taking a bit of a hit recently in a number of polls, including this latest one. I know you're familiar with it, from Forum Research, which shows when Canadians were asked who would make the best prime minister, you came in fourth after Trudeau and Scheer and Elizabeth May. Your read on that? I appreciate polls are snapshots and we're a long way away. What do you make of it, though?
Well, for a party like the New Democratic Party, you know, we're always up against the odds. And for me, I think that it's really about the campaign. And when I say that the only poll that matters is October 21st, I mean it, because during the pre-election time, a lot of attention is on, you know, the Conservatives and the Liberals. And for me, as a newcomer into the party, it's going to be during the election where people are really going to see what we stand for. They're going to see us during the campaign, what we believe in, the fact that I want to build a better society. I face some of the hardships that Canadians face, and I believe in the programs that lift each other up. And I think that's going to be a time when people will see that I provide the leadership and the courage and the confidence, and I take the matters seriously that people are faced with. I take them seriously, and we've got serious solutions to those problems.
Jagmeet Singh is the leader of the New Democrats, joining us live from Vancouver. It's great to have you on the show. We love having you. Thank you so much for taking some time again today.
Thank you. My honor.